Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we're gonna pen test Metasploitable 2, which is an intentionally vulnerable machine. And do you know guys, the vulnerability? What is a vulnerability? It is a weakness that can be exploited. So there are weaknesses in this Metasploitable 2 machine. I just started this Metasploitable 2 machine and it's currently running as you can see. And I also started Kali Linux. So this Metasploitable 2 machine has lots of vulnerabilities. We can exploit those vulnerabilities and gain access to this system. So this is what we are going to do in this video. So this video is completely made for educational purposes only. So the first step that we want, if you start a machine in your VirtualBox and if you turn on your Kali Linux and you just need to take a look at the VirtualBox settings. So here in the settings, you need to put the network of both the machine into bridge adapter. Like in the Kali Linux, the network adapter and the Meta 2, which is Metasploitable 2's network adapter should be in the bridge adapter. So yeah, I hope you do that. After that, the first step is to find the IP address of our target machine. Here, our target machine is Metasploitable 2, our machine that we are using our Kali Linux to attack Metasploitable 2. That is what we are going to do in this video. The first thing is to find the IP address of our target system. For that, we have a command called sudo arp-scan -l. This is a command that we use to find the devices connected to the network. So you can just enter the password and you can see a lot of devices here, like a lot of IP addresses and MAC addresses listed here and some name. You can also use another command which is sudo net discover. And it will also list those devices connected to your network, including the IP, MAC, count, MAC vendor, host name, something like that. As you can see, it is basically scanning the range of IP addresses. Here we have 29 and we got a lot of devices that we have. So let me stop this. And here the MAC address starting with the, this is the MAC address. So the MAC address starting with the 08 will be our IP address in the VirtualBox. So usually, so this is the IP address that's in that the MAC address starting with the 08. So this is our Metasploitable 2 IP address. So this is our target IP address. To confirm that, the first step of ethical hacking is recognizing, right? So here we are just recognizing, like, we just find the IP, right? So after that we will do scanning, right? So here we are doing scanning the target IP address using just nmap. So just nmap and the IP address will reveal that there is a lot of ports open in the target system. So that is why this system is intentionally vulnerable and it has lots of vulnerabilities. We can just gain access to those systems by exploiting those vulnerabilities. So here we can use an nmap flag called -s_v for scanning the service version. And when you use that flag, you will get information related to the version of the service. When you use nmap and the IP address, what you are seeing is the port number and the state and the service. That's it. But when you use -s_v flag, you also see the version information, as you can see. In terms of ethical hacking, if you get a version, what we'll do is like just copy the version and opening the browser and just search for any exploit in that particular version. And if we find an exploit, then we can gain access to the system. Here we can see that there is a backdoor command execution which is available in this particular version, which is VSFTPD version 2.3.4 backdoor command execution in the Rapid7 website, which is Metasploitable Framework Console. So here we got a code to use. So we have a super useful tool for hacking, which is Metasploitable Framework Console. which you can access. I just open the new tab using Control Shift P to open the new terminal tab. So you can access the Metasploitable tool by Metasploitable Framework Console by entering MSF console command. So this command will make you open the Metasploitable Framework Console. As you can see, this is might be the interface may change when you open Metasploitable Framework Console by entering the command MSF console. This is a super useful tool in Kali Linux or any other Linux-based operating system. This is so useful. So first step that we done is to scan using nmap using the -s capital V flag to find the service version related information. In that first step, I got the lots of open ports in the target. Also, I got a service and which is FTP, and I got a version related information. Here in the version related information, I just found that VSFTPD 2.3.4 is the version of the FTP service. So I just opened the browser and search for exploits in that particular version by entering VSFTPD 2.3.4 exploit, and here in the first page of these search results, I just found the Rapid7 here and the VSFTPD V 2.3.4. The V stands for version was vulnerable to backdoor command execution, which I can found in this particular website. So most of the vulnerabilities that you found in Rapid7 website, that you can exploit those vulnerabilities using the Metasploitable Framework Console tool, which you can access in the terminal by entering MSF console. As you can see, by just entering MSF console, you can access Metasploitable Framework Console. So this is Metasploitable Framework Console, and here what you need to do will be here in this web page. Here, as you can see, this is a module that they are giving to exploit this particular vulnerability. So you can just copy and paste this in the Metasploitable Framework Console, and you can do like that. But we have another way that you can use, that you can search in Metasploitable Framework Console. By entering the command search, you can search for VSFTPD 2.3.4. This is the version, right? You can search like this to also find that particular thing in Metasploitable Framework Console. We also have a tool which is called Searchploit. I will just opening a new terminal for showing that tool and entering Searchploit, and you can enter the version which is VSFTPD 2.3.4. As you can see, it is backdoor command execution, Metasploit. So it is available in Metasploit. So this version is available in Metasploit. So that's what it is showing in Searchploit tool. So basically, the Searchploit tool is from the GHDB, which is Google Hacking Database. You can see here Searchploit manual, which is a tool specially developed by Google Hacking Database. Okay, you can just access this GHDB using the Searchploit tool. You can find the vulnerabilities in GHDB using the Searchploit tool. So that's what something you need to remember. In the future, it will be helpful. So here in this demonstration of FTP, we are going to exploit this FTP. You can also copy this and paste it in the Metasploit Framework Console, or you can just search for this exploit. So yeah, it's your choice. You can just use this, you can just copy this command, or you can else enter the command use and this and their content, or the simple way is to put the ID number. As you can see, it's hash. These are the ID numbers. When I search for VSFTPD, I will see something called two numbers, right? Which is 0, 1. So if I want to use these, then I can use the ID number as use 1, right? So if I enter use 1, then it will use this exploit, which is the same exploit that you are getting here. As you can see, exploit Unix FTP VSFTPD 2, 3, 4 backdoor, which is also same here. So you can just copy that and paste it here, or you can just search like this and just paste the name here by entering use command, or you can also use enter the command use and the ID number. Here we are doing use and the ID number, which is one here, and press enter, and that's it. We use this module in MSF console. So MSF console is so important and is so amazing tool. So first we find a version number, we search it online, and we got an exploit available in this Metasploitable framework console, which is by Rapid7, and we just find this way of using this, and we just open MS console in our terminal, and we just use that particular module, right? So the next step is to enter the options command. So after in the options command, you can see a lot of things like name, current setting, required description. Here you can see it's no. That means that's not required here. So there is our host which is required, as you can see, yes, and there is nothing specified here, which is there. You can see our port and it is also required, but here it's 21. Yeah, the port number of FTP is 21. We can also see here FTP which is running on port 21, right? So anyways, here our port which is running on 21, which is required, and it's already specified. But here in the R host tab, we just don't specify anything, and it's also required. So to exploit this vulnerability, then you have to specify the R host, which means the target host. The target host means the target IP address here. So here we can just copy our target IP address. So which is this, which is nmap minus s capital V, and we just search the IP address, right? So that is the IP address that we have to paste it here. So for that, setting the R host, we can use the command set RHOSTS and the IP address, and that's it. We were able to set that. You can also enter the command options to see if it is done properly. As you can see, it's set. So first we just find an exploit and use this exploit by entering the command use and the exploit ID, or you can also use this name. After that, we just enter the options command. When you enter the options command, you will see like those lots of options, right? So here we have seen that it is required, which is ROS is the only required thing that we need to set here. So that's why we use the command set rhost, and rhost means the target host, which here is the target IP address. So here we specify the target IP address, and we are again into the options command to see if it is set properly. As you can see, after entering the options command, it is done setting. Now you can use two commands, either of them. You can use run or exploit command here. So you can, it's your wish, you can just enter run or you can just enter exploit, any one. So here run has three words, so I am just using the single word. So here I entered run, and here you can see please specify the password and exploit completed, but no session was created. And here we got an error. It is showing that no session was created. So this is basically the error in Metasploitable framework console machine. So we can just run the command again, so it will work. So if it is not working in the first time, then you can use the run command again. Okay. So this is basically an issue in our vulnerable Metasploit machine. Okay. It's not the issue in Metasploitable console. Okay. Anyways, so don't confuse about this. So this is MSF console, which is Metasploitable framework console, which is our tool, our useful tool, our ethical hacking useful tool. So here we use this Meta 2, which is also provided by Rapid7, but this is an intentionally vulnerable system for practicing, which we can call as Metasploit, right? Metasploitable 2. So this is our Metasploitable 2 vulnerable mission. Okay. Oh my god, I just lost my mouse. If you lost your mouse like this, you can just press right alt, as you can see, right alt, and you will get your mouse. That's it. So anyways, we can see common shell session 1 opened. This is what you can see. So that means we are inside that particular system. Yes, guys, we are inside. Metasploitable 2 machine using Metasploitable framework console. We can end a session, and as you can see here, you can see common shell session 1 opened. So we have to move or interact with the session 1 so that you can enter comment SESSIONS sessions and minus I to interact with that particular session, and the number of the session is 1 here. It is showing 1, right? So here the session is 1. So there is some kind of mistakes, I think. SESSION. Just press enter. So let me enter session 1. Session 1 is already interactive. So here you don't have to specify this comment because we are already in. So you can enter ls to list the comments. You learned about ls comment, all those comment in the basic video. So I hope you learned about the basic Linux comments. So this is MSF console, which is a Metasploitable framework console. Inside that we get access to this vulnerable machine Meta 2. So this is also a Linux based machine, so you can use the same commands that you use in Linux. So you can enter the command /bin/bash -i to see you are now root at Metasploitable. You directly gain access as root. There are comments like who am I? You can enter who am I to see you are root. You have all the kinds of access in this particular system. Root means admin, which is you have all kinds of access into this particular system. You are a king, like you can do anything. So that means root. So here we are inside this particular system using by exploiting a vulnerability in FTP. So you can see there is a login option here, right? You can just log in by entering ms of admin as the username, ms of admin as the password, and when you enter ls inside that machine, you can see it's vulnerable. You can enter pwd to know the current working directory of this vulnerable machine, which is in home ms of admin. So I'm saying that we are inside this particular machine by exploiting a vulnerability in this particular machine in Kali. How can I prove that? These are the file systems that you are seeing. So you can see here, I will prove that. You can see here we are now in home MSF admin here, right? But here when you enter pwd, we are now in / which is root. We can just move to home MSF admin. We are also in vulnerable. We are also in home MSF admin, right? Here when I enter here ls, you can see there is only vulnerable. As you can see, that's so we can also create a directory hacked. When you enter ls here, you can see hacked, our directory is there. So you can also confirm it here by entering command ls, and you can see hacked. So this is the proof of concept that we are inside this Metasploitable 2 mission by exploiting a vulnerability in the FTP. So this is about hacking into a system. This is about finding CTFs, which is capture the flags, which we will go to in the upcoming videos. So this is how you exploit a basic thing, like exploiting a vulnerability, gaining access to a system, and becoming a root user. So this is all about it. But we just exploited a FTP vulnerability. There are other vulnerabilities that are also available in this particular machine. You can see in the services not only the version, but also here we can see there is SSH, and there is telnet, and there is SMTP, and there is domain, and there is HTTP. So the basic way of ethical hacking or pen testing is what I demonstrated till now. That is what you watched till now. I hope you learned something, but if you have any confusions, make sure to watch the video from the beginning